Taking a screenshot is great for automation because when the test failed, we can analyze the execution flow to determine two things. Where did the test fail and why did the test fail? First, I will demo how to take a screenshot of each test, then demo how to take a screenshot of only a test that failed. All of the code will be on GitHub. Let's start by walking through the application under test, Selenium Playground from LambdaTest. The test includes clicking simple form demo. After clicking this link, the next step is to enter a message like LambdaTest is awesome. After entering that message, we click the Get Check Value button. Notice under your message, another message shows up, which is the same information. LambdaTest is awesome. The screenshot will happen when we on purpose make the actual value and the expected value not match. So let me copy the URL. Then go to our IDE. In the IDE, we go to the package demo TestNG, right click, new Java class, and the class will be called Take Failed Screenshots. Bingo. After adding the new class, at this point, we control the browser by writing WebDriver, and we have to import WebDriver. After importing WebDriver, the next step is to set up our class with the before method annotation from TestNG. The method name will be public void setup. Now we're going to set up Chrome driver with WebDriver manager.chromedriver.setup. At this point, we must create an instance of Chrome driver with driver equals new Chrome driver. Also, we have the option of maximizing the window with driver.manage.window.maximize. And we're going to load the AUT with driver.get and paste in the URL. Now, when it comes to the take screenshot, we're going to add that to the after method annotation. When we finish setting up, not setting up, but when we finish our test, which is public void test simple form demo. First step is to click the link on the home page. So we write driver.findElement by link text, and we're going to paste in the value after we make this here click method to perform the action. So in the UI, let's right click simple form demo just to make sure in the DOM it is simple form demo, because sometimes what I've noticed in the DOM, in some applications, it could be an extra space before the word, after the word. So that's why sometimes I copy the value, even though I have an idea what the value is. Click the link. Now we're going to inspect the next element, which is the text box for enter your message. And we see it has an ID value of user message. And let's see what it shows us by putting the value at the bottom using CSS selector. The hashtag is a shortcut for ID. And we see there is not a unique element using this value. It shows 1 of 3. That means there are 3 elements with that same value. Let's find a unique value. We see enter message above the text box. Therefore, we can locate enter message then find the input box. Let's use XPath. Inspect enter message, and it shows a P tag name and one attribute of class. So let's write in the value box at the bottom 2 forward slashes, P for the tag name, the square brackets opening and closing, followed by text, opening closing parentheses, equal, 2 single quotes. Now let's enter the text of enter message. Bingo. We found the element because the DOM highlight the element in yellow. The input element box is right below the enter message. And we also see how they both are children under the UL parent tag. So to find the enter message text box, let's write 2 forward slashes, following 2 colons, following sibling, because there are siblings. Now we write the 2 colons, input, bingo. We found the we found the text box because we see it highlighted yellow. So let me copy this value and go back to the IDE. And for the link text, it was simple form demo. The first statement is finished for clicking the link. For the second statement, we find the element by writing driver dot find element by XPath. Paste in the value, and it is a long value. So for send keys, let's put that on the next line so it enters the value of LambdaTest is awesome. Let's add 3 exclamation points. Next step is to click the button. So let's go back and inspect the button called Get Checked Value. It has an ID value of show input. So I'm going to copy the ID value, go back to the IDE, and write driver dot find element by ID, then paste in the value. The action is click from Selenium. At this point, we will verify if the message is correct or not correct. So let's go to the application one more time and enter a value like LambdaTest is awesome, some exclamation points. Then click the button. After clicking the button, we see the message, and it shows LambdaTest is awesome for your message. Let's inspect the message. And it shows an ID value of message. So I'm going to copy the ID value, come back to the IDE, then write driver dot find element by ID, then paste in the value. And this time we use the get text method from Selenium. Then assign the value to string. I'm going to put it on 2 separate lines. String actual message equals. I'm putting them on separate lines so we can try to see everything in this one screen. This statement returns the message from the AUT. Now let's verify the message is not correct, or if it is correct, using the assert from TestNG. Assert that it equals actual message, and we're going to put the expected message of LambdaTest is awesome with 3 exclamation points. Now, if the actual message and expected message do not match. The console will show message is not Lambda test is awesome. Bingo. So I'm going to also bring this over some more too, just to make sure we have enough room on the screen. Let's run and see if the test works. Yes, the test passed. Let's start by taking a screenshot of each test. So now we are at the point where we can add the configuration annotation of after method. Bingo. The name will be take screenshots for failures. We cast our driver to an interface called take screenshot. After casting the driver, we assign it to take screenshot with the reference of, how about we name it screenshot? Bingo. Now, the reference screenshot provides access to the get screenshot as method. Get screenshot as performs the action of capturing the screenshots and storing the screenshot in a location. The method get screenshot as takes a parameter of interface called output type. And output type can be base 64, bytes, or file. We need the file so we can save the screenshot as a file. When we capture the screenshot, it will become our source. Therefore, we write file source. And we must also import file. Now, after importing file, next is to move the file to a destination. File is a class that represents a file or it represents a path directory. Let's create our directory, then come back and write our directory. In the project tutorial TestNG, we right click, new directory. Name is resources. Let's also create a subdirectory by right clicking resources, new directory. The subdirectory name is screenshots. Bingo. Now, we have created the directory. Now let's, for the destination directory statement, we're gonna write new file system dot get property. Within the parentheses, we make the double quotes and then write user.dir. Let's make room. On the next line, we're going to write the directory name of resources, subdirectory of screenshots. Let's name the file test simple form demo. How about _pass.png? Because this will pass when it runs. User directory is the working directory. Resources, screenshots are the directory folder names with test simple form demo pass as the file name. Last step is to handle the screenshots by copying the source from the source to the destination. Therefore, we write file handler dot copy. Let's also import file handler. And it looks like it's already been imported. And if it has, it's the wrong import statement. So let's remove file handler if you imported it accidentally like I did. Import file handler, and we're going to copy from the source to the destination. Do you see the red line under copy? That means we must add an exception or surround file handler with a try-catch block. So when I hover the red line, we see add exception to method signature. But we're going to click more actions to select surround with try-catch. The try-catch block will try file handler, and if there is an exception, then it will catch the exception. This is all the code we need to take a screenshot of each test. Now, let's run. Okay, so the test finished running. We see that it passed. In the screenshots directory folder, we see the file and it shows the application at the time of execution. Okay, so now that we have taken a screenshot successfully, let's take a screenshot of a failed test. And to take a screenshot of a failed test, we must implement the 𝒔𝒆𝒏 from TestNG. We add the interface as a parameter, 𝒔𝒆𝒏. Let's test result. And I'm going to import 𝒔𝒆𝒏. The purpose of 𝒔𝒆𝒏 is to describe the result of a test, such as providing access to the test status, the test method, its parameters, start time, and end time. For example, if I click 𝒔𝒆𝒏, then the interface opens up. At the top, we see each constant status starting with created. It also shows success, failure, skip, success percentage value, and started. In addition to the statuses, we see how to get the status, set the status, get the method, and get the parameters. If I scroll down the class some more, it shows a method for getting the start date for this test in milliseconds. Also, it shows how to get the start date for this test, how to get the end date for this test in milliseconds. Let me say that again. It shows how to get the start and end date in milliseconds. There's more methods in this class. We're going to implement this getName method. The purpose of getName is to return the test result name. Let me scroll back up. We will also implement getStatus, which returns the test status using one of these constants. Our test is going to get the failure constant. Okay, so let's go back to our test. And for our test, we need a condition that states if the test failed, then take a screenshot. So with that condition, let's write if 𝒔𝒆𝒏 result dot failure, which is the constant, equals test result dot get status. Then we're going to capture the screenshot. Next, we will take all of the screenshot code and paste it inside the if condition. So let's take all of this code, and I apologize because I wrote this in the wrong place. It does not belong in the test annotation. It belongs in the after method annotation. So let me take this back and go down to the after method and perform the same step of putting our test result, and that's my mistake. And we're going to add the condition. If our test result dot failure equals test result get status. We're going to put all of this take screenshot code inside of that if statement. And once we do that, we'll finish setting up our test to take a screenshot of only a test that fails. Now, let's also do the part of getting the name of the test. So I'm going to update the code after screenshots, and I'm going to skip a line and add the plus and remove the hard-coded screenshot of the file name of test simple form demo, and I'm going to write test results dot get name plus the type of file, which is PNG. This is all we need to take a screenshot of a test that failed. Recall our previous execution passed, so let's run and make sure a screenshot is not taken. And then I will come back and make this test fail, so we will see the screenshot taken. Test finished running. We see it passed. Now in the screenshot folder, it does not show a screenshot. So now let's make the test fail by verifying our test does not equal each other in expected and actual results. I'm going to modify it by removing one of these exclamation points in the send keys method. Now let's run. And the actual and expected results should not match. Okay, the application shows 2 exclamation points. Let's see what the screenshot shows us. It failed. And we see how it says message is not LambdaTest is awesome with 3. Expected shows 3 exclamation points and actual shows 2 exclamation points. Now for our screenshot folder, we see the screenshot. When I double click it, it shows, yes, a difference between expected and actual. Your message shows 2 exclamation points. Okay, so that's it for taking a screenshot of a failed test. Thanks for watching how to take a screenshot of a failed test, and I will see you in the next video. And for the next video, it is dynamic wait statements using TestNG and Selenium.